Welcome to Write with Courage. I'm Victoria Sullivan.
And I'm Brittany Ping.
Happy 4th of July.
It was, yeah.
How fun was that?
It was really fun.
It was really fun to watch all the other countries celebrate us.
And for the World Cup happening at the same time, it's been really cool.
The World Cup was happening. Yeah. Did you see the sails? Like there was 4 sails or something like that. So other countries came here with their huge ships.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't see that.
And like tall ships, right?
Yeah.
And their military was all in uniform, and they sailed through New York Harbor.
Oh, that's
really
cool.
It was awesome. Meanwhile, air display
At
of
the big air
our
display,
military.
yeah.
Like at the same, it was amazing. It was so amazing. And then, just things that were happening across the country, but across the world, people were celebrating us.
Yeah.
So when you hear this narrative that people don't like the United States of America, the world celebrated with us.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Seriously, it's amazing. We had our own little celebration up at the State House. I was part of the party planning for that, so that was fun. I don't know if you know Virginia Drew. Virginia Drew is our historian. She also runs the visitor center, and she was there. I told her, I'm like, I think you were born in the wrong era.
This is the bonnet photo.
This is the bonnet photo that is sideways.
We're all sideways.
Our pictures are sideways.
We're doing a great job today.
How cute is she, though? Even sideways. She's super
amazing.
cute. She looks like she was made for that time, right? They had decorated the whole State House, too, with the, what do you call them?
The banners,
Yeah, they're called something else.
they're called something.
Bunting. With the bunting. And it looked really, really nice. There was a veteran there who was upset with us because we broke the code, the flag code. So they had a big flag that was hanging vertically down. And unfortunately, when the wind blew, it was flying up and getting stuck on the spikes that they have for the birds to keep the birds off of there, which is why it's not covered in bird poop. And so they tethered it, and he was very upset that it was tethered because you're supposed to let it wave. And he asked me why, and I got the explanation. I said, I'm sure it's not going to make you happy. But here's your explanation.
It's not a torn flag.
It was let it get torn to shreds, or we have it like this. And so he was like, okay. He said, sure, you break the flag code for the birds, but then he started laughing, like he was okay. But it was 150 degrees outside. It was so hot, and we were in the sun. My family toughed it out with me. Sharon Carson and Sharon Packard, the Senate President and the Speaker of the House, got up and they read the Declaration of Independence. It was a very nice day, and everybody did really well except. So, like, Jean Shaheen spoke. She did very well.
When you say very well, you meant, it was in the spirit of the celebration of the 250-year anniversary of the United States of America.
Yes. It really linked New Hampshire's history into that, how we actually were first. We had the first.
We were the first independence.
Yep. And we had the first state constitution. Mm-hmm. So we did a lot of things first. And so talking about how the Pine Tree riots was before the
Boston Massacre.
The Boston Tea Party.
Or wasn't what was the shot in Lexington? It was not the massacre, anyway.
So that was actually the impetus, but people don't talk about it. They talk about the Tea Party. And that Paul Revere actually came here to Fort William and Mary, which is now Fort Constitution, before he did the British are coming there. He warned us first, but we didn't get the credit. But no, she did a lot of things that sort of tied in our history to that. It was really well. Chris Pappas wasn't there. He sent a surrogate. Maggie Goodlander wasn't there. She sent a surrogate. But then Maggie Hassan got up. And Maggie Hassan had to keep taking political swipes at Republicans and our leadership. So that was uncalled for, and, whatever. She was. I just started tuning her out. I put up there on Twitter, and other people tuned her out. Didn't even look in her direction. I don't know what she thought she was doing. It wasn't the time or the place for it. Our president at the Washington, D.C. Did you watch that?
I didn't.
That was pretty amazing too. It was very late because they had incredible storms. So they had 350 something thousand people on the National Mall. And then they had tornado warnings and all this stuff. They had to clear everybody out. I think they said they ended up having about 250,000 that returned, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I saw the story, and he did it. He came back because the veterans were all there too.
The World War II veterans were there. One gentleman was 107 years old. He was wheeled out in a wheelchair. They turned the chair to look. I mean, one of the flags was the flag that was draped over Abraham Lincoln's coffin. Like they were all flags that represented something. So he got up. He got wheeled out there. When he stood the flag, he stood up and he saluted. I was like,
yeah.
You know, just
I did see some of that. So those are really cool.
I think another guy was. I think there was a youngin. He was 101.
A youngin.
But
a baby.
I think there was one that was 104, and then him. And so like that was just really really amazing the way that they were. And then the Gold Star families.
Yeah.
That always break my heart. Like if you want to. Like, seriously, I think people take so many things for granted in this country. We're a bit spoiled. And then when you look at all these families who have nothing left of their children except the flag that they're holding, you know?
Yep.
So I thought it was a really good mix of celebrating who we are, remembering our past. And
the sacrifices people have made.
Yeah, and he also did, warn about the future. And say that we are seeing a rise in socialism and communism, and we're seeing it even here in New Hampshire within the Democratic Party, and that this is something that we have to be vigilant against. These people in World War II veterans fought against this stuff, and we need to honor them by fighting against it now.
Yeah.
And we are just seeing such a rise in this with the Democrats across the country, with when you have
they're being embraced, right?
A sane Democrat versus a crazy progressive socialist Democrat, and they're trying to change the language too. Like this is what they do. They try to change the language. Boys are now girls, girls are now boys. They call it, whatever. And they've been trying to change language for a long time. Now it's Democrat socialist because they want you to think it's a different socialism.
Yeah.
It's the same socialism. It's the same thing. So we are seeing a rise of it when you see a what you would consider like a normal Democrat against one of these crazy progressives. The progressive is winning. Like, this is what they're doing.
Yeah, and it was like, I looked at an inflation chart, and it's like the items that are part of the free market have been hit a lot less by the inflationary market versus those that are provided, like, as a government service.
And there was just a study that came out that showed that Biden's open border policies have
affected housing. It's linked
housing. And I was trying to explain this to my son because he was like, well, no, it's the big corporations that are buying a lot of houses. I said, that doesn't happen here. Like, we don't have that here. And a lot across the country, a lot of people are putting in laws saying, like, BlackRock can't come in and buy all the residential homes, right? They can't do that. But when you have an influx of millions of people,
they have to have apartments.
Can't build quick enough to accommodate that. So then what happens, right? So that was an interesting statistic that came out. I noticed today that gas prices were down.
Oh, I got gas for $3.20. It was amazing.
Where?
At BJ's.
I started at $3.99 and I paid $4.16 last week. So I was like, they're coming down. $3.20 is good.
I mean, so some of it is because at BJ's you get like promotions and stuff, but like it's been pretty steady, in the mid threes.
The Trump accounts launched yesterday.
Live,
This is just so weird to me. All right. Because
listen, when anyone got a COVID stipend under the CARES Act from Trump, nobody was like, I'm going to shut down my bank account that the IRS knows about and definitely not get my CARES Act money. But when it's like, I can sign up my kid for $1,000 in an investment account and I'm not going to do it because it says Trump's name, like your principles aren't aligning.
And he got money donated into that for your child.
It's not the federal government.
We're not going to do it. The Dell Corporation, the people that own Dell, Mr. and Mrs. Dell, they put in millions of dollars to support other people's children, to give them a head start. Largely, I think this is happening to get people used to the idea of these accounts being there because Social Security is not going to be there.
It's not going to be there.
And, you say that and people are like, oh, she wants to get rid of Social Security.
I've been told my entire working life that Social Security is not for me. I'm going to pay into this system that is not going to exist.
Right. So what if they took what you already have in there and they put it into an account.
Because it's the opposite of
that raise
socialism.
funds.
Because socialism is like, we should be taking care of every senior citizen 100%, right? But Social Security is not meant to be.
It's like
It's not meant to
$20,000 a year.
support.
Like, how do you
yeah,
live
it's not
off of
support.
that?
It's not meant to support someone. It's supposed to be a
So
supplement
What if you
to the things that you've done.
What if you had your own bank account where every month you took out your own money and you put it into an account for your retirement? And that account started when you were born.
Yeah.
Where would you be?
Oh, you'd be an insane. I mean, I would be.
That's what Trump accounts are.
Yeah.
It's a starter account so parents
And then
can
even,
put
like-
money in there for their
and
kids.
obviously they're called Trump accounts because it's like just like Obamacare was called Obamacare. We still call it Obamacare to this day because that's part of what you do to recognize your legacy in your policy, right?
I still think it's hysterical that when they talk about the big beautiful bill, they have to call it the big beautiful bill. I think it's hysterical.
It's very Trump.
Very Trump. What did you do?
What did I do? So we have friends up in Claremont, and they invited us to come spend the weekend with them. So we were up in that neck of the woods. We went to a beautiful little barbecue and watched the Claremont fireworks from on top of the mountain.
Oh, very nice. You didn't send me a picture.
I
know
did
where you were.
not.
You sent me a picture from up there, but not with the fireworks.
I didn't take any of the fireworks.
I
And-
got some really good video of the fireworks.
And then we went to the Plainfield Parade, so just a few towns over. And we listened to the Declaration of Independence be read by a former New Hampshire Supreme Court justice, which was
Very
pretty
nice.
cool. And then and they have like their downtown is like open up during the parade.
Nice.
And so we got some strawberry shortcake, and there was a church handing out watermelon and
Nice.
lemonade, and it was really cute. And then we went to a friend's pond in Cornish, and we paddleboarded.
Nice.
I mean, I did not paddleboard. I swam with my friend's little kids. So there was a 2-year-old and a 3.5-year-old.
So you're getting good at this paddleboarding, kayaking.
I did not paddleboard at all, my children. My children, like the big kids, were out paddleboarding, and I was playing on the little sand.
We
with
went
the little
down
kids.
to Arms Park. Happened to bump into Chrissy Cantor as I was
I saw
crossing the street to
that,
go
yeah.
over there, and then Steve Kesselring was there with his wife Kim and their daughter, and who else was down there? There were a couple other people down there. Oh, Brian Cole was down there. A couple other people that were down there. Kathleen Paquette, her husband was down there, and I will say the fireworks were great. They started them way later. Like if they're gonna start
They
at
just
10,
announced. So they just announced why.
why?
So there was a person who was reported acting suspiciously holding a bag near the bridge. And so
I
they
was under the bridge.
what?
I was under the bridge.
Yeah, I don't know, but they said like in an abundance of caution they investigated that complaint.
So then
Before
you get
starting
the
the
DJ
fireworks.
who was like this hip hop,
Yeah.
boom, 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 on a DJ. Like someone asked for American music, don't have it. Why wouldn't you have American music? Like I don't not that hip hop isn't American music, but you know what I mean, like American themed
Americana,
music,
yeah.
like country. You know, some
Some
Ray
Bruce
Charles, God Bless
Springsteen.
America.
Yeah, let's go,
You know, let's
yeah.
mix it all in and make it all about America.
Whitney
Nope.
Houston's version of the
Oh my
national anthem.
God.
I mean, come on.
And and the DJ could have said, "Hey, we're really sorry about the delay. We're having technical difficulties," but people just kept waiting and getting frustrated, and so that you can solve a lot of that just by communicating with people, the frustration. And I heard a lot of people like complaining because there were only 2 food trucks. That I don't know who plans this, but I was saying Concord. And I did have fun. The fireworks were great. I got to, Peter Talge had his like outdoor
Yeah.
patio there, so we got to hang out there for the Stark Brewery. Where we were was amazing to see. The fireworks actually got hit with some carnage, so that was kind of
All right.
cool. Some shrapnel. It was
Manchester
cardboard.
shrapnel.
But in Concord, they had markets like all up and down the street. They had this huge, amazing parade. Litchfield does a great parade too. I didn't get to be in Litchfield this year because I had to be in Concord, but they had this huge, amazing parade. Even Santa was there.
Even
and-
Santa was at the
In his
Independence Day
Hawaiian
parade.
shirt. Yep. And they had a big band playing outside,
That's really cool.
brass band playing outside the.
You know what?
the
Our
tr-
capital should represent on Independence Day.
It's just so
at
sad
the
that Manchester
250th
did like.
We did nothing.
We do the same thing we do every single year.
In Manchester, like I pulled up photos of the Manchester Historical Society. We used to have Elm Street was full of the buntings and banners celebrating the big milestones
Nothing.
of the country.
Fizzle.
Yeah.
Just a fizzle.
But we wrapped up this Independence travel with a conversation. You and I
We did.
got a phone call. Brittany, what are you doing this week? And I said, I'm pretty busy. And she said, we got to go get that trash bin, my nemesis, out of the water. And I said, Monday and Tuesday it's raining. Let's do it Wednesday.
So for you guys that are following, there we are.
We're upside down, but this is us. We've captured the trash bin in the wild on
There
the
it is.
river.
For you guys that aren't playing along at home, I
show
go
what else-
kayaking,
there's-
and there
I think-
is this trash bin that belongs to the city of Manchester
There's me
Parks
picking
Department.
up more trash in the river.
And actually,
love
after
it
you left, I
sideways.
did more of that. I
And
found a
that's
lot
our,
more.
we think it's a loon that we
I think
found.
it's no, heron. Are herons bigger?
I have no clue.
What is
it's
that
not
bird
a
then?
heron. It's a bird. I've had no time to research it.
It's a big bird. I
But
did
that
have
was-
a heron go over me after. It was a big, huge gray bird.
Those were not herons.
But I did have one. I don't know
believe
what
you.
that bird is. We'll have to research.
We'll look it
I
up.
haven't seen those there before. Usually ducks. Usually lots of ducks. I had a lot of blue dragonflies flying
Lots
around
of
me.
dragonflies.
But for you guys that don't watch every week, I go kayaking, and where I go, there has been this City of Manchester Parks and Rec trash barrel in the water right on the edge, like too far offshore to be able to walk over and get it. And
And I think it's private property on the other side, isn't it?
it's
Or is it?
no, that's the trail.
That's the trail.
It's been my nemesis because it's just not good to be there. I don't like plastic in the waters. It's not good for the animals. And so I was contemplating getting it on my own. I'm like, this is probably one thing that I need.
I'm really glad that you did
Probably
not
need
try
to
to do it
phone
on
a
your own.
friend. So I called Brittany. Of course, she was like,
You
okay.
actually didn't believe it. You were like, "You're really gonna do it with me?"
It's like, I love you so
I
much.
can't let you do it by yourself.
So if you guys don't know, Brittany is like the queen of clean. She does cleanups all around the city. If you're door knocking with her, she brings like a thing to put needles in and trash and everything while she's walking around. She's the queen of clean. So she was like, all right, let's go. I didn't know how to get it back because I've got an inflatable kayak and I had two, so Brittany had one. So last night I built a barge. I wish
we don't have a
I
picture
know,
of
my
the live,
pictures
live
didn't
trash
go
free or
through.
die. Oh, or live free or trash
Live
and free.
free of trash.
Live free of trash barge.
barge. And as I was building this barge
It's
out
okay.
of
It failed us.
styrofoam packing and pool noodles, I remembered that my great-grandfather used to actually run the barge that cleaned Boston Harbor. My mother told me that.
It's in her blood.
It's in my blood. So I built a barge.
We were assisted by our guardian angel, Dan of Bedford.
So we're out there trying to get this. And this is the funny part. So Pericles, who helps us with the pack and other work up at the State House, right? He's like, what are you doing tomorrow? Are you going out door knocking? Can we tag along? We're going to try. We got some new equipment and want to take some film. I'm like, well, not exactly going door knocking tomorrow. He said, I have been out door knocking already, but not tomorrow. He's like, well, what are you doing? And I said, not sure if you want to know. He's like, now I have to know. So I said, my good friend Brittany and I are going to retrieve this huge barrel that's polluting
The
the
river,
river,
Piscataquag
the
River.
big, beautiful river. And we're not really sure how it's going to work out, but we're going to go tomorrow and give it a go. He's like, all right, can we tag along? I'm like, sure. Do you really want to?
So is this going to be a great video of me, Rambo, singing the Rambo theme song?
Rocky.
Rocky, I don't know.
So we paddle out there easy enough.
It's great.
Oh, by the way, when I deflated your kayak, I couldn't figure out why I couldn't fold it up. It was so full of water.
It was very full of
was so
water. It was very full of water.
I had to turn it over. Anyway, so we're paddling out there. Easy breezy. Had to remind Brittany not to go near the waterfall because
That was not. No, I did go the wrong left. I went right instead of left, but that's not the way to the falls.
no, I had to show where the falls were. So we didn't go over.
We did not go over the falls.
And then So we go over, we find it. She found, I know we have to go back because she found a 5-gallon pail at the bottom of the river, which we now have to go back because it will become her nemesis. She won't be able to stop thinking about it till we retrieve
We're gonna
that.
have to get it.
And there's also some clothing up on the hill there
Yeah,
that I
there's
really
a
want to
homeless
get.
encampment that we have to go
We
to.
want to take care of.
Yeah.
And we did do, we did see Click Fix. Did it twice. They never came. So, had to take matters into our own hands. So we got it, and we put it on Live Free of Trash
We did.
very easily.
The Live Free or Trash barge.
It worked great.
And then we had like a little pink pool floaty.
yeah, that we had to put,
It's great.
because I didn't think to bring bungee or anything, and the lid, which I didn't think was still on it, was still on it. But when we tried to move it, it kept flapping and opening, and in hindsight, we should have just. In hindsight, we should have just flipped the barrel. Then it would have stayed closed.
No,
by
it wouldn't have
gravity.
because the crack was on.
Oh.
No.
No, because it would have
We
sunk
were-
that way because the crack was on the bottom. It was a huge crack all the way down. So we got it on Live Free or Die with a little help of the pink floaty
The
thing.
pink floaty.
And then we started going, and we were doing so good. It was going so well.
We had already at this, so we engaged our guardian angel Dan, who was
Poor Dan from Bedford. He was out there to just have a morning paddle.
He was
and
listening to
enjoy
music.
his day. He was not in his bathing suit. He was listening to his music. He was just taking a little leisurely paddle. And then there we were. These two
was-
crazy women in the river.
But he also, felt the need to get rid of this trash bin.
He did.
Because we told him many times we really appreciated his help and he was welcome.
Yep.
But he really wanted to make sure that we were successful.
Yep.
No.
And then, so we got on there, and I was rowing it back, and things were going swimmingly. And then
We lost it. But we didn't lose it all the way.
it tipped. That, so in there's so many, I would do it differently, but this was,
We learned.
we learned things. I've never done a barge before.
But we got to the point where this is my first time ever kayaking. I've canoed, right? It's basically the same. Tied my kayak to Victoria. Victoria's literally holding the trash bin, like hugging it. The picture that was shared about the trash bin, it was actually the spider. So we didn't talk about how many spiders
Oh,
were on that trash bin.
new fear unlocked. I did not even know there was such thing as lake spiders. Is nothing sacred? Is
You
no
didn't know there's
place
water
safe?
spiders?
No. I mean, I may have seen them hopping around and not realized they were actually spiders, just kind of bugs.
You just thought they were like water
But
gliders?
when it was on the trash barrel and I identified it as an actual huge, gross, thick-legged spider, and then it jumped into the water because I thought it would die when I went in the water, and it didn't. It just kept bouncing along the water, and I went, oh my God. Those weren't water bugs. They're actual spiders.
They're spiders.
They're awful. They're awful. They're awful. I may have
So
screamed.
Victoria was holding the trash bin. That was the home of how many? Very many spiders. She's so brave.
Anyway.
And I
we got
have
through
the
that.
dead pink floaty.
It's a-
And there is
it's a
video
souvenir.
of me as hard
is
as I
video.
can.
We got it back thanks to Dan's help. She rowed, she towed, and I held on
We
to
totered the
tote.
toter, okay?
So we got it back. We had a little audience by the time we got back there, which was
We
kind
did.
of funny. And it is no longer in the water, so
It's amazing.
amazing. Amazing. So in political news, just before I left, I saw this video of Senator Fenton. Senator
Yeah.
Fenton. He did a video. It started weird. It started with, "I'm going to terrorize the Republicans." which-
What?
I don't know if he meant to use the
I
word
thought-
terrorize. It was weird. But then he started to say how we're responsible for the cost of living. If, I'm granted, I'm going, we are in a place where we need to be very careful with the budget, which we were. We
Yeah.
did not raise property taxes on anybody. We put more money into local education, public education. We put more money into special education. We returned more money to
I
the
just saw
cities and towns.
Bedford, how much money Bedford's getting back from the rooms and meals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Manchester got $11 million.
So much money.
But unfortunately, they're not reducing their budgets the way that they need to. The cities and the
Right.
towns, the way that
well,
we
because
did.
the cities and towns are saying we've been deserving all of this money all of the
don't-
time.
No.
So it's not. So that's new play money.
But let me tell you what it would have been had
Yeah.
Senator Fenton and friends been in charge. We killed over $2 billion in spending. And a lot of that was going to go to education, which we had already increased the funding for. And then when we asked them where that money was coming from,
They didn't know.
they did not know. There's only one place that that money can come from.
It's a
And that's
statewide
property
tax.
taxes,
Yeah.
unless they create a new tax. Now, just to remind you of the 333 plan, the 333 plan of the Democrats is going to be 3% increase in your property taxes, plus 3% increase in your income taxes, plus
No, there are no income taxes. So a brand new.
brand new income tax.
3%
I was thinking for a second, if you happen to live in Massachusetts and you already have to pay Massachusetts property tax, now you're getting dinged another 3%
mean
from the
employment
state that you
tax?
live in.
If you work
Income
in,
tax. If you work in
Yeah.
Massachusetts, you have to pay a Massachusetts income
Yeah.
tax, even though you live here,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So if you're paying that there, now you're going to get dinged another 3% here where you live. And then they want to implement a sales tax of 3%. Now, mind you, just remember, the federal income tax was supposed to be 1%, that like the highest earners only. Now, everybody pays income tax, and you're paying 30-40% of it. You know, sometimes some lower, but you know the 1% is now incredibly high because the government will never stop spending. Once they find a stream to pull money out of your pocket, they will never stop spending. As Republicans, we have held that line. The Democrats want to increase 3%, 3%, and 3%. Not even increase, like you said.
Add.
Increase 3% of your property tax, add a brand new income tax, and add a brand new sales tax. So when they're adding, they're taking away 3% out of your food bill. They're taking 3% out of your paycheck, and they're adding 3% onto the property taxes that you have to pay every year.
Yeah.
And that's just going to be the beginning. Once they get the 3, it'll be 5. It'll be they just
we're
won't-
gonna need it.
I mean, look at our property taxes here, right?
Look at our
We
gas
have the
taxes,
tax cap.
right? Like we haven't had a large increase to the fuel tax, right, since Maggie Hassan,
Maggie Hassan. Yep.
right? But
Yep.
you know, no Republican governor has walked down from those road numbers. You know, the numbers that we needed for the roads.
Nope.
So
Once they have the money because they
They do.
spend up to it.
Yeah.
So remember, no matter what Senator
you want
Fenton
people
says,
in Concord, I don't know, like Senator Sullivan and maybe myself in Ward 11, that know that low taxes, that low cost of living only comes from low government spending. You know, if the government can't keep their budget in check, how are you supposed to be able to budget month to month?
you can't.
No.
You can't.
All right, that's the end of our
All
show
right.
today.
We want you to hold on to more of your money for your family. That's what
Absolutely.
we want. All right. Thank you, Brittany. I love you so much for going on that
Thanks.
adventure and sharing my shenanigans. We'll have more pictures of that are right side up. I hope you guys have a great week, and remember to walk right with courage.
Say that you